So today we are focusing on backward rolling skills. We're going to start on the floor with just a basic warm-up. So Coach D is really getting her heart rate up with some jumping jacks. She's going to do some high knees. So the goal here is just to get moving and get your muscles warm before we stretch and start with our skills. So you can do high knees in place, or you can do them up and back depending on how much room you have. Next, she's starting with some chassés. So she's just bringing her feet apart, together. She's also using her arms to get those arms warmed up as well. Now she's working on some butt kicks. Again, moving those arms. Making sure that all of your muscles are engaged so that you're really getting your whole body warmed up before we get started with stretches. So the first thing we're gonna do is mountain climbers. So you're just bringing your knees up to your chest. This is a good warm up because you're getting your arms, your core, and your legs engaged. So we're really getting that heart rate up. And then we're gonna do some candlestick stand-ups with a tuck jump. This is good because it's gonna help you with your backward roll, in addition to getting you warmed up with some nice jumps and that hollow position. Next, we're just gonna do some stretches after we get our muscles warm. So we're gonna start with a pike stretch. Notice Coach D has pointy toes. She's reaching all the way out. We're just gonna hold it for about 10 to 15 seconds. You can go up and then go back down, really making sure you feel that stretch. Then the next one we're gonna do is ankles. So she's just gonna point and flex her feet, really making sure that you get those ankles warmed up. And then you can make some circles with your toes, rolling those ankles out. And then we're gonna move on to our straddle stretch. So make sure that when you do your straddle, you've got your knees and toes turned up towards the ceiling, you've got pointy toes, and we're just gonna start by reaching over to one side, putting your nose all the way to your knee and holding it. And then you can reach over to the other side, all the way down, really make sure you feel that stretch. And then reach to the middle. Again, trying to make sure that you keep your knees up to the ceiling, toes up to the ceiling, and we're just gonna hold that stretch before we do our wrists. So you can get up on your knees and start by rolling your wrist out. And then you can put them down on the ground. And just flip them around. Really make sure you're stretching them, getting them nice and warmed up. And then we're gonna do our splits. So you can start just with one leg out, sliding down as far as you can go, making sure you're keeping your hips square and your toes pointed, back leg straight, and you can hold that just for about 30 seconds before you move on to your other leg. And if you can't go all the way down, that is completely fine. The goal here is to make sure that you've got good form. So you want to make sure that your back leg is straight, that your toes are pointed, and you're just going down until you feel that stretch and then holding it. Then we'll do our middle splits. So you're just gonna slide down as far as you can go. Try to stay on top of your split. And again, we're just gonna hold this for about 30 seconds, and then we'll get started with our rolls. So the first skill we're gonna start with is just a basic backward roll to a tuck position. So first we wanna make sure that our arms are in the right place. So you're gonna start with your hands by your shoulders, and you're gonna just roll back, push against the ground, and finish in that tuck position. So really make sure that you're not rolling on your head or your neck, that you're pushing with your hands And if you're not quite ready to do them on a flat surface, you can always do them off of a box. It makes it a little bit easier. After you're comfortable with that backward roll to a tuck position, then we're gonna do a backward roll to a hollow position. So this one's just a little bit harder. It's the same thing, but you're gonna finish in a hollow instead of a tuck. So we can do a few off of a raised surface so that you can see the progression. So you can do this like off of your couch or off of your bed with parents' permission, of course. You're just gonna start laying down with your hands on the ground, and this is just helping you work on bringing those legs over and finishing in that hollow position. Hands on the ground, bringing your feet over. And again, you're keeping your legs straight instead of finishing in that tuck. Next, we're gonna do them off of a lower surface. So you're starting standing up and pushing out. Again, your hands are going on the floor, so that just helps you bring your legs over a little bit easier. Pushing off the ground, out into that hollow position. So we're gonna show you one more. Hands by your shoulders, and reach for the floor, push out, and nice big finish. So once you feel comfortable with those progressions, then you can work on doing it to a hollow position on the floor. But you do want to make sure that you're staying safe so that your hands are in the right place, that you're comfortable supporting your weight so that you're not rolling on that head, and that you're really pushing out to that hollow position. So after you feel comfortable with your backward roll, then you can work on adding it to a round off. So first, Coach D is just gonna power hurdle round off into a candlestick so that you get comfortable going backwards out of that round off. And then she's gonna do a power hurdle, round off, backward roll, out to that hollow position. So this is just a progression that you can work on after you feel comfortable with that backward roll. Just making sure that you're progressing slowly and really working your way up to those higher skills.